It says, honestly, I'm fucking killing it.
Well, okay.
Very aggressive.
Very aggressive.
Very aggressive.
You look at Ashley, you think she's not gonna say something like that.
No. So, I'm holding this up. This is wrong. Who's got wins since last class? Love to hear them. Love to hear some wins. Uh-oh. This close, what does that mean?
I'm real close. My title company dropped the ball. They're taking too long, but I'm just close. Fingers crossed, guys.
Okay. Okay, she's close. Okay, well, so when we say maybe the challenge right now is we're talking specifically real estate. Let's make it a non-real estate. I hope we have some sort of non-real estate win in the last 30 days. That's awkward.
Yeah.
That's the worst.
Flush, you know.
Are you guys kidding me?
I have so many. It's hard to name. I'm just trying to think of so many.
Well, yeah, I don't want to be the only one.
Well, let's go.
Okay. So, I got two sides of the coin. I got the home inspection side and then the insurance side. So
Okay.
on the home inspection side, we're doing really well, and so that's that. It's not one of those cut and dry things, right? I do have two prospects of hiring someone. One was okay. The other one basically told me I don't want to be an employee. So that's a whole other conversation. It was funny.
To do inspections? You're hiring someone on the
So,
inspection side?
so Ralph is hiring for inspectors now. Ralph is a home inspector, and he is growing his business. He is overwhelmed, and I've been telling him that he needs to stop and make some time to hire.
I've been doing that. So that's why I have two candidates. But
That's a super huge win.
yeah, it's super huge when you start realizing that people. Man, I don't want to. Well, yeah, I'm just gonna say it. Sometimes people think because they arrive at a point, they think they're supposed to get what people have been doing for a long time. They're supposed to get the same amount. And the reality is, if you've got a license, that's just you don't have any equity built up in your skill set. The value is not where it's supposed to be. That's where the training comes in, and mentorship, and things like that. So when you right off the bat are starting a conversation like, I'm not taking less than this, that's a crazy conversation to have with someone, because you got to bring them back down to reality. And it's some good conversations, because I've never had those before. And I was an entrepreneur, and as an entrepreneur, business owner, you start realizing that these other conversations are super important, right? So. Getting the reps and doing that. Aside from that, was able to insure and protect 3 people this week.
Let's go.
On the insurance side of our business, we also have an insurance business. So that was great. You know, Jackie has her pipeline on that. My wife, she's a loan officer, so she helps me with that kind of thing.
Okay. Who else got a win?
I met another agent who they said that they would bring deals to me.
Jerry, the wholesaler.
Hi.
You're a wholesaler?
She's a wholesaler. They're investors looking for deals. That's why they said that. They caught that.
Hi, it's nice to meet you. I knew I liked you guys.
That's a cute holder.
Thank you. Who else has got some wins?
I don't know how to cash it out, but I I've made $15.55 on a journal I made and published on Amazon KDP.
Okay.
Ooh, good job.
You don't know how to cash it out?
I don't know how to
I
catch
can
it
help
up.
you. I can help you set it up.
Yes?
Yeah.
That would be
Because
great.
you can just set up your bank account. It'll come.
Also, I haven't looked at it because I've been looking at my account and it hasn't gone to my account. So like I haven't sold anything. So I'm like, I'm gonna look it up right now. And it's like, oh, $15. It's just sitting there waiting. That's amazing.
It is.
I know $15 isn't a lot, but like I spent like 4 hours on this journal one day, another 4 hours on the second day. So I've made $15 so far on 8 hours of my time, and I'm never gonna have to spend any more time on it. It's just gonna forever build.
Yeah, I love it.
It
You
feels
never
good.
have to spend any more time on it with that?
Well, no, that's not true. I do have to.
Okay, so
Tell
tell
people
everybody
that.
about your journal.
Yes.
It is a weekly reflection journal
Okay.
that I designed to give myself no more excuses for being lazy. But it helps me focus on the 3 things that I want to make sure that I look back at every week. The good things that happened, the things that I know that I need to work on, and then deciding what is the most important next thing that I need to do for next week.
That's what you just said right there?
Yep.
What is that?
Yep.
Tick tock, tick tock, tick tock, tick tock. No? You put that exact what you said on TikTok.
Oh, like literally on
Yeah,
TikTok.
literally
Okay,
TikTok.
sorry. I thought you meant like
Instagram,
you put like a little
Facebook,
circle, like a clock, TikTok, like time is ticking.
Well, that's good too.
And so that's pretty good.
No pressure.
Well, in the same vein, I mean, it's not, but I did sell something that I had not at all marketed in 7 years off of the same thing. So I got the little royalties came in. I was like, oh, we got a deposit. What is this from?
Oh,
So,
wow.
It's still forever making money.
Wow.
Has potential to keep going. Yeah. And I had a really good conversation with Ashley where she dropped some more gems. Let me tell you what she said.
What she said? What she said?
We were talking about risk and like getting into like, buying your second or third properties and like making the jump into technically being an investor. And she said basically at some point she had to realize that the longer she took to start going after her dreams, the less time she'd have to live it.
Mm.
And I was like, that is worth remembering, girl.
Can you repeat that?
Okay, basically, I'm gonna get the word. I'm gonna
Okay.
make sure I say it right. Give me some justice.
Your bars, this right
Yeah.
off.
So aspirational.
Dreams.
She said, and the longer I wait, the less time I'll have to live the life that I'm building.
Yes, that's good. That is true.
Okay. So, we have some new faces. We're just going to put you on the spot. So I want you to introduce yourself to everybody.
My name's Leah, and I know Anthony from when I used to work, and now I'm unemployed. So, which is why I teamed up with Manny. Manny is my volleyball friend, who is I'm not trying to introduce you, but I know him from volleyball, and he does some house flipping, and I thought that sounds like fun. And so, and Anthony and I have been talking for a little bit about investment and homes and property and things like that. So I thought, well, this might be a good time. So my big win is that super small, but I finally sold my wedding ring, which I've been divorced for like 18 months. No, it's okay. And it was very therapeutic.
I can
That's
imagine.
great.
Yeah, it was very therapeutic.
Oh, my turn
That's
now?
on you, man.
Well, she say changing everything basically.
No.
So it's been a couple of years that we met. We are already good friends. I'm a fixer-upper. What else?
Not personally.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. So the win this week, my knee is better because she had an injury. So I can do my win for this week. It's better.
Right.
Yeah.
So, the intention of this class is a few things. We are actively trying to build community. We're trying to create a space where we know that when people are looking to do more, sometimes you kind of start to feel isolated. So being able to be with other like-minded individuals. Originally, this was strictly just real estate investing with the intent of, I didn't want anybody coming here and just consuming information, which is easy to do. The emphasis is on taking action. So come here, get some information, get whatever you need, but really the intent is take the information, get out there, go trip and fall, and come back and say, okay, now that I stepped out there, here's some of the things that I see. I took this step, and now I have some new questions, or I've got some, and I'm actually realizing that like this is a safe place for me to come and like, hey, now I've got people who have different levels of skill, people who have different things, people who can, hey, they're a little bit further beyond where I'm currently at. Hopefully I can call them and say, hey, help pull me. I'm in this rut. My shirt says,
Why did you feel break like that?
well, and I think specifically, we're now at a place that you need to be thinking. I think it's no longer a place that you should be comfortable with anything less than $1 million. I think that in order to protect your family, in order to protect your future, like we have no idea what's going on when the billionaires are playing billionaire games, right? And in order to make sure that you are positioned, it's about being intentional, taking action, and the earlier we do it, the more time we have for making mistakes. I thought one of the interesting things, as I was preparing today, I actually saw, came across, I was thinking about everybody always wants to hit it out the park. Everybody wants to wait until like the perfect opportunity and I just want to hit this home run. And I was looking at, is anybody familiar with baseball? Are you familiar with, did you know what batting 300 means? What does batting 300 mean?
Of the percentage for the season.
Percentage of what?
Batters on base or batters.
Batting 300 means I hit the ball 30% of the time. 30% of the time. Now somebody look up, what is somebody batting 300 in the professional league make?
They make a lot of money.
How much?
How much does 300 batting average baseball player?
$4.2 million and higher.
And higher. 30% of the time. And we think that we have the only ones that count are the home runs. I gotta wait till everything is lined up perfectly to hit a home run. That's the shift that a lot of people need to make. I can't get out there unless I'm gonna make $100,000. It's $100,000 just instantly or nothing. No, you gotta get out there and start doing the stuff. There was something that I thought about. I heard somebody say something at the end of last class. And I said, oh, I don't think that we actually, there's clarity. I realized somebody said something, we're having a conversation specifically about millionaire. and I realized that I don't know that everybody knows what the definition of a millionaire is. What is the definition of a millionaire?
Or your net is your total assets and, well, your total net worth, like the assets and liabilities, not your net income per se. Is a millionaire.
I think it's the capital you have in your bank account, right?
It's like
You don't
liquid
have
cash.
debts, you know.
I would say it's your assets minus your liabilities.
Your assets minus your liabilities. So if your assets minus your liabilities nets over $1 million. So what are the ways that you can grow your assets to over, assets, liabilities? So that means, how do we do that?
Different ways you invest.
Okay, invest to increase our assets. What else?
Make more money.
Make more money,
Reduce that.
reduce debt. I think a lot of times people focus on the
Make more money.
make more money and they shy away from the reduce debt.
Yeah, and right. Yeah.
And this is the thing.
So you find yourself in financial. Well, you got good hand.
I thought you were going to say stop, drop, and roll. You find yourself in a financial
Stop digging.
Oh,
Digging.
digging. I'm bad, I said.
If you find yourself in this financial hole, stop digging. Everybody wants to look at making more money, and we keep coming back to the finance, we keep coming back to the budget, because I think that that's the reason why some people won't pull the trigger. I feel uncomfortable because I don't know what I don't know about my personal finances right now, and so it feels uncomfortable to get out there. It feels extra risky to go out there and invest, and I don't know, I haven't really buttoned up everything personally. Everything.
I think you're 100% correct, but it's like deeper than that. I think it's psychological.
Tell me more about
I
that.
think it's rooted in your psyche, because some people can't see past. They're scared of what could be, and they can't. How tough it is. It could be a psychological burden, because you want right now. A lot of people want right now, and in order for you to live the life you want, you gotta think about what you can stop doing right now in order to get what you want later. But people live in such a I work 80 hours a week, and I want to get this, and I want to get that. They want to feel good in the driveway. They want to feel good when they come home, and I get that. But if you don't have a vision, and you don't have people in your corner challenging you to want more, and it's not about having things. It's about leaving a legacy, what you want to leave behind, so it doesn't happen again for the next generation. And so if you're not thinking that way, you're just thinking right now, but you're really, you're actually just perpetuating the cycle. So when you got to make that switch here and here in order for you to be able to do that. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So it all starts with your mindset.
Yeah, and that's the hardest thing for some people, just to wrap their head around. It's the reason, it's a lot.
A lot of people get in their own way. It's not their family, it's not their friends, it's their mindset.
And it's, when you know better, you do better. But, when you're the first generation of thinking outside the box, it's tough. It's really hard.
But I don't want to shy away from this part of it though. Because for a lot of people, like investing, it feels uncomfortable to invest because it sounds like something you're supposed to do extra. If I haven't tightened up, if I don't have a plan, if it's not clear. Your money is the priorities are, right? If I look at your bank statements, I can figure out pretty quickly what your priorities are. Whether you would like to admit it or not, if I look at your bank statements, I can tell what your priorities are. And so being intentional about saying, if I'm going to invest, if I'm going to, whatever I'm going to do, whatever things I'm working on, I should have a clear plan. I should have clear action that's headed towards that. Who feels like they are financially tight? Super duper financially tight?
Yeah, I feel like it. Most times.
What does that mean?
I mean, like I have enough, but I feel like I don't have enough space to do all the other things that I want. I put money in my 401k, but I don't necessarily have as much money that I would like to put towards additional saving or towards extra payments on something to like kind of clear things out. It's like I can do a little bit of things like, but it just feels like there should be more space.
Who else feels like that? So I'm gonna challenge that a little bit. And so I recognize I said, who feels financially tight? And I realized that there's some vagueness to what that means. I think the level of financial discipline that I'm referring to is your paycheck is following your instructions. And so if I'm looking at my 401k, what's going, like for the month of August, tomorrow's August 1st, I know every single penny where it's gonna go. And my paycheck is gonna be submissive to my intentions. So I know from day one, this amount is going here, this amount is going here. I've partitioned and said, I've got $500 for investing, it's going to my investing account. I've got my 401k, and so even if I'm looking at 401k, which is a good place, if I'm not investing, I need to be doing something. So I should be putting in a 401k, but if I'm looking and saying based on my priorities, I want to have money for actively investing. Most people don't know how my 401k is actually performing, or what's going into it, or who's controlling it, or some of those things. And so if I have the option to be able to, like, if I'm not doing anything, I should be doing something. So give it to somebody who's at least doing something with it. But if I'm in a place where I'm saying, I want to actively do something, and I'm positioning myself, then maybe it's saying, okay, now I'm being intentional because I'm active, and let me reposition this. And some of this, maybe for comfort, maybe not all of it, right? I still want to be able to make sure that it's growing, even if this thing that I try and invest in doesn't immediately work. I want to make sure that I have that, depending on my level of comfort. But some of that, more of that, I can say, hey, I want to start cutting back on this so I have more to do something with now. And so some of that comes with your level of comfort. For me, I'm very comfortable with risk. So I'm all in, super heavy investor. I'm more investor than saver, right? And I'm very comfortable because I have very aggressive goals and I'm looking to get to them sooner rather than later. And so I know that it requires more risk, more aggressiveness, more action, and I have to lean more in. The other part of that would say is, if I'm looking at it and I say, I've looked at everything is pretty tight where it is, then now the additional step is, okay, now what else can I do to hustle on? Because if I need extra money to go to these other things, then I need to figure out, like, it needs to come. What does that look like? Where do I get it from? What kind of things can I sell? What kind of business can I create? What kind of hustles can I do? Because I want to make the additional amount that I'm going to make this thing grow non-negotiable. Does that make sense? So, let me ask you this. Being that you're comfortable, do you know what's keeping you, what else is keeping you from pulling the trigger on specifically real estate investing?
Comfortable. I don't feel like I'm comfortable. I feel like I'm tight. I mean, I think it's like, it's one more bill, and I still only have one primary income, and it's like, in my mind, I feel like I need to be able to cover all the what ifs with that income, and I don't know that I can if I like getting a second property. Like, in case it doesn't get rented right away, or in case there's something else comes up, like all of those additionals, so there's one more payment that I have that I don't know that I'm comfortable with that extra amount at the moment.
So then, if that's what, if this is the thing that's keeping me from doing that, right? If that's what I feel like is keeping me, then maybe that extra money that we talked about from putting in the 401k, maybe it's not going into investing, it's going to the storehouse, right? I'm putting extra and I'm building up this cushion. If this is the thing that's keeping me from moving forward and being comfortable, then, okay, now I'm aware of that, now how do I do something about that? If I can start to build up this war chest, and now I've got whatever number makes me feel comfortable, then it's a lot easier. I'm gonna tell you from my experience, and I'd probably say that most entrepreneurs probably feel the same way, you don't ever feel ready. Right? I don't, and I'm a planner, right? I'm a perfectionist. I want to know everything about everything before I get started. And that being said, I understand that most of my learning has happened after I got started. Like a lot of the books that I'm recommending, like those are good books, but the learning happened when I jumped into activity. Like I thought I was prepared for it and then jumped out there and like, wasn't ready for that one. Now I gotta know how to adjust, right? And so that's where the mindset is important. I think also the other part of that is looking more at the technical part. Because when I don't know what I don't know, we always tend to over-exaggerate what that could be, what the risk could be, right? And so the other part of solving that is, let's just look at an actual deal, right? What is the actual mechanics of if I were to get it? Because like it's easy to be concerned. What if everything breaks, the tenant doesn't move in on time, like that could be some crazy astronomical number. But when I start to look at what does it actually take, right? If I get a house at this price point, what does the mortgage look like? What does these kind of things, are there protections behind some of these things? So what is my actual amount that I have to carry? I heard somebody I was having a conversation with another business owner, and they said they hired somebody. And they hired somebody for a high salary. And they were reluctant to hire this person for a high salary. It was a supervisor position, and they were reluctant because it was way more than what they were comfortable with. But then what they looked at it as, and they had the conversation with that person and said, hey, we're looking for performance. And so yes, when you look at the whole annual amount of it, that the salary is high, but when you looked at what is the monthly on that, said this is a manageable amount. You have 3 months to get your life together and show us where you are. And I'm not paying that annual salary. I'm paying that 3 months. Provided that the investment is also growing and doing what it's supposed to do, right? And so it also looking and saying, can I prepare myself for an additional exit strategy? And so most of the properties that I look at, I'm looking at with 2 exit strategies. And so I may go into it with the intention that I want to buy this property to hold on to it, but I also have in my back pocket, if I want to keep it and rent it, usually that's an option. And so you can buy with intention. This is a good thing. You don't have to buy anything that doesn't make sense. You can create the parameters that make you safe. When I'm inside the box that I created, super safe. When people get outside the box and say, oh, it gets emotional, or this is going to be the next river walk, or some of those things, very unsafe. So I'd say the next thing should be actually taking the steps of actually looking at some random deal and saying, okay, this is something that sounds like something that I could do. What would it actually look like? And you'd be surprised at how much more manageable it is. Right, Ashley?
It's super easy.
So Ashley is one of my mentees. She got way outside her comfort zone, and she bought another house, and she was worried about all the renter stuff. She rented out her old house, which is what I recommend for most people. The easiest way to become a real estate investor is buy a new primary residence, rent out the old one. Your down payment's lower, your interest rates are better, you feel more comfortable with it because there's a mental switch that comes for a lot of people with investing. And so renting out my old house doesn't sound as scary as buying a house and renting it out, because there's a level of familiarity. And so Ashley has recently gone through a transition of undoing her Superman wall and getting her house ready and renting it out. And she's got some tenants that have been in place. How long have they been in place now?
Since March. They technically moved in last 3 days of February, but
She was so worried. Now she's ready for the next one because Ashley has a goal. Ashley wants to make $10,000 passive in the next 3 years.
Let's go. That's a good goal.
So one of the things that I was also thinking about, in my team, in my organization, we talk about AI tools a lot. And I just want to reiterate, does anybody use their ChatGPT often, talk to it? Is it like their good friend? Do you think that your ChatGPT knows
I
you?
call it G.
You call it G?
Yeah.
And this is legit, I ask her. It's like, how you like to be called? And his answer is, well, call me G.
Oh, that's cool. So I was thinking about this, and I know like there's still a lot of reluctance, there's still a lot of hesitation to pull the trigger. And I was thinking, and since you guys, since ChatGPT knows you, I think you should ask it right now. What does it think, based on all the information it knows about you? What's the reason why you are not achieving whatever goal you want to put on there?
The question is, what's stopping you from achieving?
Based on all the information that you know about me, what do you think is stopping me from being more successful in whatever thing is that you would like to put on there? It's like I'm still fighting the power.
I know. Somebody's got to do it. I'm going with the resistance.
Anybody want to share?
I will, but mine says, you carry a lot emotionally, but don't always prioritize yourself. You have vision, but may overthink before acting. You've been in caretaker mode for so long. You're in transition, but haven't fully stepped into your power yet. Those are, and then there are things underneath that, but yeah.
What do you think about that?
I think ChatGPT knows me better than I know me.
last week.
He gave me a lot. There's a lot wrong with it. But it breaks it down in the things. So I said, what do you think is stopping me from making 10K in passive income in the next 3 years? Lack of capital or leveraging strategy. No clear passive income vehicle chosen. Inconsistent action or no scalable system. Mindset around risk and scale. Lack of network or mentorship.
What do you think about that?
Wow, you didn't tell Chad about us? Good to know.
I don't really talk to like a Peterson, you know, like
I'm just kidding, I don't
I'm
know it.
just looking.
Anybody else want to share?
Well, mine says basically saying what's keeping me where I'm at is I need to hire and outsource.
Are you ChatGPT? You bugged your phone.
It says build your team on both sides, and you're not fully leveraging your powerful story of your past on the insurance business.
Think about that.
I think it's 100% correct. It's like a little mini Anthony talking.
You're gonna pop it
I don't want to talk to you.
So I found out after the last, was that the last class? Was that this class? That was this class. I found out after the last class, I'm a verb. Is that what we said? I'm a verb.
Yeah.
Ralph and his wife, where's Jackie?
She's hurting right now.
Ah.
She's,
Doing them deadlifts.
trying to get right.
Poor Jackie.
What did you say? I was fascinated because I always.
So Anthony mentors us too. So he's constantly challenging us all the time. And I'll walk home sometimes from coming, doing whatever, and as soon as I walk through the door, she's like, Anthony called me. I said, I got what? He Anthony did. She's like, yes, he Anthony me. Yes, so I got Anthony earlier today. That's your Anthony, and I got my Anthony. And we're gonna just keep this. And he started laughing. But that's a real conversation in our house. We literally, she get off the phone, she's like, Anthony told me that, and I'll be like, yeah, this morning he was on me this morning. I already know. So we've been Anthony in our house.
Anybody else want to share? I don't know what to do with that information.
It's a good thing though, right? Because you're being challenged. And to be honest, our lives have changed a lot because of Anthony. So our mindset, a lot of things that we Jackie go through, we come to Anthony for answers. And he never, the good thing about Anthony, he's gonna make you work for the answer a lot of the times. That he wants you to think it through, right? So, and I love that about him because he's just not gonna be like, sometimes he might be like, yeah, you need to do this. But a lot of times he's gonna be like, what do you think? How you, like, getting your mind going into a space where you're like, you're troubleshooting your own, because he's already been through it, so he already knows the answer, but he wants you to kind of stumble upon it yourself. And so, and even times when me and Jackie find the answer by ourselves without talking to him, we'd be like, that was Anthony. So it's pretty funny. Real quick about ChatGPT, there's a new ChatGPT that I was listening to a podcast on my way home today, and I'm sorry I can't remember what it's something biblical name.
DeepSeek?
No. Did we say?
DeepSeek?
No, he said deep sea.
No, it's Wig. I'll find out and send it to Anthony so he can text it to everybody. But this particular ChatGPT has all the ChatGPT's access to it. So when you're paying for that one, so if you need a brochure done, if you need Canva, if you need, it has access to like writing books and stuff like that. You ask it, you prompt the question, and it'll decide which ChatGPT it should go to for what you want.
Oh, wow.
So you don't have to have all these apps. It's one app that has access to everybody.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
I know.
And the reason why I did bring up that, because I know a lot of my time I spent trying to figure out, or trying to find somebody, trying to get like some baseline answers, or trying to think some of these things through. And I think that we are in an unusual time that we have access to a lot of additional help, and it definitely makes sense for us to utilize all the resources available to help us achieve the goals that we're intending to hit. And so with AI giving us that kind of leverage, being able to say, this can help us make a plan, this can help us make with our routine, this can help us with whatever, like helping with execution. I don't know, it probably can help you with accountability, right? And so if we are able to use it intentionally, and while we're building up our support, while we're building up ourselves, right? Because I know that there's also a lot of things that we don't always feel comfortable to share with everybody. And so like I may want to come into a group of other people, but then even when I get into a group of other people who are like-minded, and if I'm not all the way in, if I don't feel like the trust is there, then there may be some things that I'm not comfortable to share with the group yet. And so I could at least have this to kind of be a sounding board to help. Now, I would definitely, it doesn't replace the human, and it lacks, certain capabilities, but using all the tools available to help us achieve the goals that we have. Speaking of that, one of the things that Ashley has, I'm gonna put Ashley on the spot because Ashley she has an assignment. So Ashley is also an extremely talented artist that for some reason has lost her mojo, whatever. But she's also decided that she has an Airbnb project that she's creating. And so she had this vision that she's talked about for years of a Dungeons and Dragons nerd Airbnb. And so with the intent of writing a vision, making it plain, I told her to draw it out so that she could actually get clear about what it looks like so that she could see. I asked her to be ready because I might call on her to talk about and be able to clearly show, because not only, she needs to be getting it out there, what she's looking for is niche, whatever the word is. But something like that, I think it's a great idea. I think she's definitely could use some support and some will behind it, but she also needs to be comfortable with pushing her idea out there that she's working on. And as she's working on this thing, a lot of times other people can help her with the vision. So, don't show me.
It's you.
It is cool.
I sent it to you. Do you have one?
I do not have one, man. I don't know how to draw this and stuff.
ChatGPT.
Can you cast it if you're on the Wi-Fi?
Okay, Anthony, okay, I want to say my one thing. Okay, DeepSeek
Hold
told me.
on. Wait, we'll come back to it. I don't want to lose what you call it. Or unless you want to do it, because I'm going to forget, and she's going to try to get off the hook.
Maybe you'll play Do you want?
Let's open that up. Monitor thing. DeepSeek. That's another version.
DeepSeek is
People
there.
tell me not to use it because like China they run it. So like I really like it though.
So if
It's
you
better than like other
Since it's her idea, I'm like, I'm running on the broadcaster.
She told me like we were talking about, just don't put your first name over here. But I would put stuff like that, it's just, I just put whole things.
Okay, what are you saying?
Oh, I was just saying, about music, I actually have a few, I feel like you just calling me out. Okay, but yes, one of it is perfectionism. Waiting for the perfect time or avoiding small steps because they're not enough can lead to stagnation. We were talking about this earlier. In regards to wholesaling, I like to wait till like I get the green light from the travel company before I start speaking to my investors, because I don't want to say, hey, I have this property, I'm pretty close to getting under contract, it's almost done, and it ends up not happening. That's a part of my perfectionism. Like, it has to be just right before I go out and I start speaking to my investors. Well, Ashton told me, no, you can start speaking to them, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. That's just the nature of the game. So I have to like get out of that mindset, because I like everything done like 1, 2, 3, 4. I like it done in steps. So like my issue is like I want everything to be perfect. But it's just, sometimes it's not going to be perfect. Like it might take a month or 2 for it to get under, like to finally get done. But if I have an investor who's ready, who's worth it.
Well, not only that, a lot of times speed wins. And so, if you're spending that much time working on that deal, waiting for that, it's tying up a lot of your space to be able to go find other opportunities. Because you're constantly checking in and you're working on that, where you say, hey, we know that, and like I mentioned, you're doing all the work twice. You're doing all that, and you don't even know for sure that you got somebody to buy it.
It's just, I don't want to like, my issue is like, I feel like I would look dumb to my investors if I get them excited, oh, there's this nice house on this side of town, and it doesn't happen.
So I appreciate you saying that, and I think this is the thing. I think when we can be clear about the reason why we're struggling, we can address that. And when you say, I don't want to look dumb to my investors, I think that the thing is, you haven't been clear about what your value proposition is to your investors, right? Because if you're clear about what it is that I'm doing, like, hey, I'm going to bring you deals, I'm going to bring you deals first, I'm going to bring you deals whatever, I'm going to do everything I can to make sure, right? But the only reason why as an investor that you would make me upset is if you knew some information you didn't communicate with me, right? And I got into a bad deal, or if you had the ability, what was the other thing I was thinking? If
Usually they're outside the 70%, that's my problem with we always with that.
yeah,
Yeah.
so I think a lot of
They're super pushy and no, it's the weekend is gonna be 10
Right.
grand. And you open the door and
as a foundation slap,
Dude.
I actually got upset because
it's 100
I went to
grand.
go look, and I inconvenienced myself to go look at this property. It was in Universal City, it was in a gated community, and the guy's like, oh, da-da-da-da, and I'm looking at the photos look great.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to protect my time as best as I can. I get over to the house, and as soon as I open up the door, there's a crack that runs all the way across from Ralph to Sylvia, and it's this, like you can see through the flooring, and the concrete under there also has, and I'm like, bruh.
And you discover that it's only 5 grand. It's an easy fix.
So that's just, as a wholesaler, that's just a part of my vetting process.
Well, right, oh, and the other thing would be if you try to mess around with money, right? If you try to put me in a situation and now, hey, they can't close on the thing, and now you're trying to keep my money, or you're messing around, or not hurting me, give my money back, yeah, I'm gonna have a problem.
Okay.
Did you get it?
ChatGPT
So cute.
or
Are you sure? No.
wait, no, this one is.
Oh,
This one's Copilot, actually. I think Copilot is. But AI, nonetheless. Very fun. Super cute. I've decided I'm going to buy this domain. I think. My whole vision is to bring fantasy to reality. D&D is a big part of adventuring, using insane rules and magic, and it's a getaway from life, right? And it's a great tool for families to come together for team building. friends to come together when they have lives of their own, they have monthly meetups, and they can just focus on doing random stuff in this space. So I really want to bring that into a home away from home. I want them to enjoy Dungeons and Dragons while still having the option of a B&B where they can stay in or go out and explore the world in a new city that they haven't been to. So I'm going to have themed rooms, and my husband is actually going to be building campaigns where he's going to make character sheets and game concepts and missions and stuff, all that kind of stuff. And we're going to have everything that they need to play a game from beginning to end. So it'll be good for experienced players. The tools will all be there if they want to build their own thing, or brand new players. Everything will be there for them to get started without having to know anything. I've been playing around with ChatGPT and Copilot, actually, building different things. I am going to figure out how to put a dragon on my mailbox. It's going to be adorable. It's going to be great. So themed rooms, I've already decided each room is going to have its own character class theme. We'll have live action role playing stuff, a theater room for those that don't want to play, they want to watch Lord of the Rings. There'll be a whole room for that. I'm going to offer expert dungeon master services, so like if they don't want to host their own game, they want somebody to come and show them how to play, we can offer that to them. I'm going to be going around and making sure that I'm supporting the local card shops and game shops around town. I want to advertise business for them, and I need to find local mead. So if you know anybody who makes good mead, let me know. I am interested in.
You're speaking jargon.
Jargon.
What's good?
No. I'm not even a drinker. Mead, okay, mead is a kind of alcohol. Usually it's honey-based.
Honey-based alcohol.
Yes.
Is it like beer?
No idea. I'm not a drinker.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think it's its own thing. I don't think it's
Yeah.
a wine or a beer. I think it's its own kind of alcohol. No idea.
It's kind of like beer. I
That's what I was thinking. I feel like it's like a beer cousin.
Yes, I
I don't drink.
I go to the Renaissance Fair and like,
Right.
that's where they serve it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been playing around with some things. I have better pictures. I just haven't updated this PowerPoint yet. But we have 3 bedrooms. One is going to be geared towards the Clarendon? Oh my God. Cleric Paladin. That's the white and golds. We're going to have a wizard room, which will be the blues, and then we'll have a warrior room, which will be the reds. See, kind of there. I want to update the kitchen so it looks like an old-timey tavern, and I want bathrooms to look like an elven sanctuary. Lots of greens and golds, and putting a little wood filigree on the cabinets and stuff. It's gonna be pretty awesome. I've decided that I want to include everyone, right? So I know that I'm going to be making sure that we have everything there for players of all levels, families, vacations, real nerd enthusiasts, right? Making sure that we incorporate all that stuff. And then, yeah, we're going to revolutionize. Dungeons and Dragons themed D&D is going to be the greatest thing to happen to Wizards of the Coast.
So we're trying to get her to fully commit, go full send. She's got a big tree in front of this house that she bought too, that we want to be the whole, we'll see. Most of that was to get, just to put her on the spot. You know, Ashley doesn't like talking. She's probably gonna go and look at her face to me, right? And that's the other thing. Like we want to be able to create a space where even I know a lot of times some of the things that we have envisioned, it doesn't necessarily feel comfortable to share. It doesn't feel like, you know, if I share my wins or my successes, not everybody will love it or appreciate it or support it or all that fun stuff. Thank you, Ashley, for sharing that. I also recognized last time, I said, I want to get a lot more into the mechanical, and I have been hoping that by taking action and going in and having a conversation with people about real estate will create the conversations and people will be comfortable to have the conversations. And that's not necessarily happening. But I also recognize that some of it is, I know that a lot of people are worried about the what ifs. What happens when I actually talk to you? I don't know what the mechanics are. It's really get out to it, start to find it, start to ask questions. And what I'm referring to is, so there's a lot of ways that you can go and create and build opportunities. You can network, you can communicate with other people. As you guys are looking for opportunities, one of the things that I recommend the most is having a lot of conversations. You guys are actively looking for real estate properties. Everybody in your world should know that you're looking for real estate properties. I think that that's the easiest way. Everybody's looking for, because you get to be a lot more creative. If you go and find a stranger who has a distressed property, like go chase down foreclosure, like that, there's a lot of work, right? I might have to deal with somebody who's got some mental health issues. I may have to go and keep working with you, and there's a lot of salesmanship, and you have to go back and like build the trust. When somebody that you know has a distressed situation or has some, you would be surprised how many people around you don't want to develop anymore. They say, I have this piece of real estate, this thing happened, and I just want to get rid of the whole thing. I was actually thinking today, so I have, somebody's actually working on one of my properties right now, because we had like a pipe burst. And I'm looking at this, and I see, this is when you got a whole bunch of water in your house. That's one of those ones you want to throw the baby out with the bathwater? Like, man, like, this is a whole, right? But I'm looking at this and I say, this is the reason why a lot of people say, that's why I don't want to be a homeowner. And my thought behind that is, no, that's the reason why you need to have 3 homes. Right? Because if I have one house, like, yes, everything feels monumental, and I have these different things, this is coming out of my whatever. When I have a portfolio, right, when I have real estate investments, like, some of the costs are offset. I have yes, I have to spend this money, but I have other real estate that's making me money. I have other things, and so the effect of this isn't as great as it would be if it was just the only one that I have. If this is the only thing I've got, I got all my eggs in this basket, then like, yeah, that's a big deal. But just as a refresher, I want to make sure, because we talked about a lot of the different ways that we can do real estate investing, and I would like, what are the ways that we can invest in real estate? Class. Buying any primary. What else?
Flipping houses.
Okay.
Wholesale.
Buying.
Hold on. Flipping. Flip.
That market is like real.
Types of investing. You said wholesaling.
Oh, hi, nice to see you.
Airbnb a different thing?
Sure. Short term, mid term.
The second one or the first one? The first one is private.
What else?
Hard money lending.
Lending, money. What else? House hacking.
Buying a multi-family unit.
Okay. Speaking of that, I think that there's actually a pretty good opportunity on that right now. I think anybody who's comfortable enough to buy a multifamily and look at and move into it as a primary residence, there's a really good opportunity, because a lot of multifamilies right now, because of the interest rates, they don't make the same sense. Investors are looking at the numbers. They're looking specifically at the numbers. And so with higher mortgage rates than what they were a few years ago. When an investor looks at it, what they would be paying for it for their investment rates and looking at the numbers, a lot of times it may not make sense to them. But if you're offsetting your mortgage and you're moving in as a primary residence and you're moving into one of those units, you're offsetting your mortgage, so you have a different value, and then you have income coming in all those other properties. And so because there's a lull on a lot of multifamilies, you could probably be really aggressive with buying a primary residence, multifamily, moving into it, getting them low offer because the market is slower right now.
Does that apply on the new construction that I've seen that's starting to happen?
I don't think those new construction make sense. I don't think that they make enough sense as an investment.
Have you seen enough multifamily being available?
Mhm.
You're saying something good?
Mm-hmm.
See them down. I thought I'd have to just build a whole new one.
No, they're available.
What side of town do you see them on?
So you see them a lot on like the I-10, 410, Los Angeles Heights, there's quite a few over there. The South Side, there's quite a few. And then there's also based on the price range that you're looking at, right? So I'm talking about some of the lower price range. But no, there's similar shirts. There's a lot.
About, like when you say older, like 2000s or like lower,
They vary.
90s?
They vary. They vary. What other ways can we get into? What other options do we have for
Joint venture.
investing? Okay, joint venture.
You can do stocks. You can buy stocks.
For our purposes, we won't put that up there.
Arbitrage,
What does that mean?
Airbnb arbitrage?
So you're saying Airbnb, or you're saying more like house hacking?
No, it's a thing.
You're talking about buying it, or renting a house to rent it out for Airbnb.
Yeah, you can.
We have short-term rental. I know what you're saying, but it's kind of,
Just complicated.
yes. But we're mostly talking, okay, what else?
Building.
Building. Building is an option. You guys are doing all these ones that we don't even normally talk about.
Land? Land.
Okay, so subject two? Okay, innovation. When you say future owner finance?
Those are all the ones we talk about.
Let me check what it says. Do I put ocean on there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is just some things to remember. So what we're gonna do right now, I made some little scenarios, and we're gonna split you guys up. I would need one of you guys to come over here with these guys. And then you guys will have to all get together. So what we're gonna do is, I have some scenarios that we created for you guys collectively as a group. So you guys can kind of all get together, huddle. There's gonna be two groups to huddle together and come up with, look at each one of these scenarios and decide, is it a deal, is it not a deal, what can be done with it?
Which is still Sylvia's chair.
Different.
Like, I didn't want to
Okay, so
get
we
you
have-
came back.
Oh, sure. Just making all.
We just need to put one out, so they're going to have one.
So once you guys do that, somebody will need to be the spokesperson to speak on behalf of the group. Mm-hmm.